Hello, my name is Nancy Caspersen. I am a resident of Southeast Boise. The video clips in this film and the still photos are all taken from neighborhood views of the habitat and wildlife that surround Loggers Creek. I belong to a group called Friends of Loggers Creek Preservation. It is an unincorporated, nonprofit association of people who care about preserving the high quality of life in Southeast Boise and at the same time respecting the abundant wildlife of the Loggers Creek area. Our current goal is to voice our sincere disagreement with the proposal before you and to prevent the development of high-density, multifamily housing adjacent to Loggers Creek and Smizer Lane. Natural areas are a unique part of our lives in Boise, and we should never take that for granted. There are many cities of similar size that have not made these kinds of investments. Visitors to Boise are amazed at the beauty of our area. The parks, the greenbelt, the river, and the foothills are all part of an extensive system of land preservation that serves both the people and our local wildlife, making Boise an exceptional place to live. Loggers Creek is special. Its historical significance goes back to 1864 when a small ditch was created off the Boise River to power a water wheel and run a flour mill. In 1878, the ditch began to be used for floating logs to a lumber mill. This waterway has evolved over the last 150 years from a small ditch to an incredible living ecosystem and tributary of the Boise River. Loggers Creek is one of the few remaining pristine creeks to run through the heart of Boise. The land was originally zoned for low density, allowing homes to be built along the creek and provide protection for the gorgeous aesthetics of the areas and encourage the bounty of wildlife that surrounds it. As you can see, one of the most amazing features of this area is that the creek environment and the wildlife can coexist with this low-density development. There is a large and diverse population of birds, animals, and fish that inhabit the streams, shores, and marshlands of Loggers Creek. It's not unusual to see a herd of deer resting on the shores of the creek or bedding down in the brush and the trees that surround the creek. It's not unusual to see foxes running through the yards, or to see adult owls with their young, or geese with goslings. Also, great blue herons are frequently seen, along with hawks, minks, coyotes, squirrels, goshawks, and both rainbow and brown trout. A large number of wood ducks winter on Loggers Creek, building nests in the spring in the duck boxes and having young. Many more species depend on the creek area and the low-density properties around there to protect their habitat. As you can see, just a few years ago, the proposed building site off Park Center was grassy and wooded. It was home to many species of wildlife. The previous developer at that time came in, destroyed and leveled nearly everything. Not much was left but weeds and a few trees along the creek. We feel this was irresponsible and done without forethought of consequences to the neighborhood and the wildlife surrounding the area. Over the last 3 years, the area has slowly begun to grow back with trees and shrub, and the wildlife is returning. The homes that now surround the proposed development are all 1/2 to 1 acre lots, which is very low density. The proposed apartment complex would skyrocket that number to an average of 23 units per acre. That density is just too high. A total of 288 apartments and 500 parking spaces would significantly increase traffic, noise, and invasive lighting in a now relatively quiet neighborhood that is shared by people and wildlife. Specifically, the 3 buildings closest to the creek would have 30 apartments. That is just too much. This development would drive down the value of surrounding homes and impinge greatly on the creek front and wildlife habitat that surrounds it. The impact of an additional 500 to 800 renters in this small area would be detrimental to the riparian area, wildlife, and to the neighbors. We believe in compromise. We believe in growth for our city, but mostly we believe that growth in construction needs to be responsible, fair, and based on the best thing for Boise, not just for today, but into the future. Growth should be based on what is best and what is good in the long run. The current owner of this property makes the following statement in his apartment proposal, quote, "Existing uses, none. The site has been stripped of vegetation and has no current beneficial use." End of quote. We disagree. Loggers Creek environment right now has many beneficial uses for both people and wildlife. One example is the Boise School District has an ongoing program through Trouts Unlimited called Trout in the Classroom. The purpose of the program is to teach our kids about the life cycles of trout, how to restore fisheries, and how to protect our natural waterways. These kids raise fish eggs in the classroom and then release the small trout. This is a photo of them releasing their fish into Loggers Creek. I would like my closing video clip to allow you to see the living beauty of Loggers Creek. The following film footage was taken on December 20th, 2011, about 100 feet from the proposed apartment complex. One of the birds that we frequently see along Loggers Creek are the great blue heron. And notice directly in front of the heron, you'll see the silver of the fish. But brown trout traditionally use Loggers Creek as a spawning and breeding ground, and the brown trout are coming back. Fish biologists say that this brown trout probably has come upstream from the Boise River. Loggers Creek, it's a beautiful, valuable, living ecosystem. I think Loggers Creek has value that cannot be put in the bank. Thank you for your consideration. Let's have the vision, courage, and commitment to save Boise's unique qualities.